Tommy, sale Tommy. Sale. Bitter criticism. I don't know what I'm going to read right now. Anything. Let's read the genocide dossier. Because Netanyahu, you know, such a criminal. Netanyahu killing lots of people, lots of innocent Palestinians. Terrible. Let's read the genocide dossier on Al Jazeera. Yeah. Summer is coming right here in Valparaíso, Chile. Summer is coming, and we are reading CGTN also about Al Jazeera, the genocide dossier on Al Jazeera, with Milou over there. Milou. Breaking news, more than 50,000 Palestinians killed since Israel's war on Gaza began. That toll includes 41 people killed over the past 24 hours reporting period. This kind of news maybe is not going to stop. This will be a full genocide, maybe. Most of the killed people in Gaza are children, women, and elderly. I guess young men just fled away. Israeli forces continue attacks across the Gaza Strip, killing Hamas official Salah al-Bardawil in Khan Yunis. Live updates. More than 50,000 Palestinians killed since Israel's war on Gaza began. Israel kills at least 35 people in Gaza, including senior Hamas official Salah al-Bardawil and his wife. This is by Niels Adler, Stephen Killen, March 23, 2025, updated 14 hours ago. Israel's army continue attacks across the Gaza Strip, killing at least 35 people in pre-dawn raids, including senior Hamas official Salah al-Bardawil and his wife, who were sleeping in a tent. Second, the US bombs Yemen again, raiding an airport and port in Hodeidah, as well as the central province of Marib and northern governorate of Saada, according to Yemeni media. In Lebanon, Israeli forces killed at least 7 people following an alleged rocket attack, endangering a ceasefire deal reached with Hezbollah 4 months ago. Gaza's health ministry says at least 50,021 Palestinians have been confirmed dead and 113,274 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza. Gaza's government media office updated its death toll to more than 61,700, saying thousands of Palestinians missing under the rubble are presumed dead. At least 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led October 7, 2023 attacks and more than 200 taken captive. 7 minutes ago, Sunday, March 2023, by Brian Osgood. On the final day of his re-election campaign, Trump made a pledge standing in front of a rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Quote, I will restore peace. I will restore peace in the world, he said as supporters waved signs that read, quote, Trump will fix it. Trump will fix it. But since Saturday, Trump, now 2 months into his second term, has carried out a series of large-scale military actions against the Houthi armed group in Yemen, killing at least 53 people. The US-led airstrikes have exposed a fracture within Trump's base. And there's a 1 minute ago. This is on Hamas. U.S. envoy Witkoff says of new Gaza attack. Hamas militant group is responsible for the renewed fighting in Gaza after rejecting efforts to move forward with what had been an quote-unquote acceptable deal. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff say. So this is on Hamas. The United States stands with the State of Israel. Witkoff told Fox News, quote unquote, Hamas is the aggressor here. Hamas is the aggressor here. Yeah. No, it's just like Rui Costa Pimenta from Brazil said. Whoever, no matter who do anything, if the empire of chaos is, if the empire is killing anybody, that's the victim, you know. The empire, the West, the collective West, the empire of chaos, they are always the aggressor, of course. And 19 minutes ago, March 23, SEAL defense, 50,000 people near Rafah under imminent danger. Gaza Civil Defense Agency has warned of quote-unquote imminent danger to lives of more than 50,000 people in an area west of the southernmost city of Rafah after it came under attack by Israeli forces. Force responder crews are at risk in the besieged area after attempting to rescue Palestine Red Crescent Society medics, it said. The agency says it's currently unable to communicate with its teams. And there's a photograph of members of the Palestine Red Crescent Society carried the bodies of 2 paramedics killed in an Israeli strike last May. So, Palestinians are victims, you know. Palestinians are the victims. And whoever the collective West attacks are also the victims. March 23, 29 minutes ago, Houthis claim more attacks on Ben Gurion Airport, USS Harry Truman. Yemen's Houthi group says it again fired a ballistic missile at Israel's main airport and also attacked a U.S. aircraft carrier. The armed group said it targeted the Ben Gurion Airport with, quote, a Palestine II hypersonic ballistic missile. Palestine II hypersonic missile. Oh, that's interesting. Yemen is attacking Israel. Quote, the operation successfully achieved its goal, said military spokesman Yahya Saree. Oh, this is going to open up a bloodshed, a open war. This is escalating, in Yemen, Israel. The Israeli military, however, said it intercepted a missile launched from Yemen before it crossed into Israeli territory. The Houthis also said they fired, quote, several missiles and drones, end quote, in the USS Harry Truman carrier and a member of U.S. warships. No damage was reported by the U.S. What will be the truth, isn't it? What's the truth here? Sunday, March 23, Sunday, 39 minutes ago. If you are just joining us, here are some of the main developments over the past day. First, Israel's army continues to attack across the Gaza Strip, killing at least 35 people today, including in multiple air raids around Rafah. Israel's military says its soldiers are currently, quote, expanding the security area in the northern Gaza Strip, end quote, releasing a video showing troops opening fire on unidentified targets. It said the focus of the ground assault is the town of Beit Hanun. Third, Israeli forces have carried out a wave of raids and made 13 arrests across the occupied West Bank, according to the Wafa news agency. Fifth, an Israeli drone hit a vehicle in a southern Lebanese town, state media reports, a day after the most intense escalation since a November ceasefire. Hamas has issued a statement confirming the killing of senior Hamas politician Salah al-Bardawil and his wife in a quote-unquote treacherous Zionist assassination operation on their town in Al-Mawasi west of Khan Yunis in the Gaza Strip. The Israeli military says a missile launched from Yemen was intercepted by its air force prior to crossing into Israeli territory. Who knows? 1 hour ago, Pope calls for immediate end to Israeli attacks on Gaza. Yeah. After the ceasefire. The head of Roman Catholic Church has called on Israel to cease its attacks on the besieged Palestinian territory and for a quote-unquote definitive ceasefire. Quote, I am saddened by the resumption of the intense Israeli bombardment of the Gaza Strip, with so many deaths and injuries, end quote, Pope Francis wrote in his Angelus prayer, which was published as the 88-year-old has been discharged from more than 5 weeks in hospital. Quote, I ask that the weapons be silenced immediately and that the courage be found to resume dialogue so that all the hostages can be freed and a definitive ceasefire reached, end quote, the pontiff said. The humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip is once again very serious and requires the urgent commitment of the conflicting parties and the international community, end quote, he added. And there's a photograph, Pope Francis gestures during his first public appearance in 5 weeks in Rome, Italy. Yeah, Pope is dying. I'm going to read the very last one about Lebanon. March 23, 1 hour ago, Israel violates Lebanon ceasefire repeatedly, by Ali Hashem. People here in Lebanon are concerned by ceasefire might not hold because there are Israeli violations on a daily basis. This area is now more of a war zone after the latest attacks. Yesterday, 2 civilians were killed, a 60-year-old man and a young lady who were injured and later pronounced dead bringing the number of people killed to 8 from Israel's Saturday bombardment. There are attacks on different towns and villages in the Bekaa Valley and in the South Lebanon. Just this morning, there was an assassination of a Hezbollah commander in Aita after the town was hit by Israeli artillery overnight. Hassan al-Zain was killed as a result of an Israeli drone strike that targeted his car in his hometown. And that's it. So, ceasefire means nothing to Netanyahu and Israel as a whole. Let's go, Tommy. Let's fight for Palestine.